Good morning, children. Welcome to the English session. Today, we shall deal with the first lesson, The Third Level, by an American author, Jack Finney, from the textbook Vistas. Now, before we start, let me ask, if you could travel through time, when and where would you go? Would you choose to live in a different time? The story is actually about the harsh realities of war. War has irreversible consequences, thus leaving people in a state of insecurity. It is also about modern day problems and how common man tends to escape reality by various means. In this story, a man named Charley hallucinates and reaches the third level of the Grand Central Station, which only has two levels. The setting of the story, which is the Grand Central Station in New York. Grand Central Station of New York has two levels, but Charley, a 31-year-old dweller of the city, talks about there being three. Not only does he believe in the existence of this hypothetical third level, but also claims to have been there. A visit to his psychiatrist friend. Charley visits a psychiatrist friend to talk about his problem. The psychiatrist calls it a walking dream wish fulfillment and rationalizes Charley's psychology by saying that the modern world is full of insecurity, fear, worry, and war, and everybody wants to escape to some temporary refuge from reality. According to him, even hobbies like stamp collection is a manifestation of this escape. Now, philately, it is not just stamp collection but a broad term including the study of stamps, postal history, and other related items. When a new stamp is issued on the first day, people mail a blank paper to themselves and then retain that unopened letter with the date on the postmark. Here, Charley has inherited the hobby and the collection from his grandfather. So, moving on, Charley loses his way at Grand Central. The fast growing Grand Central Station at times seems to be a maze to Charley. He had lost his way a couple of times earlier too while taking the subway. Once he entered the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel, while the other time he emerged at an office building that was 3 blocks away. But this time, when he loses his way, something unique happens. He visits the third level. Charley keeps walking in the quiet corridor, angling left and slanting downward till he reaches an architecturally old station that is completely different from the two familiar levels. The antiquated small room with a fewer ticket counters and train gates, a wooden information booth, flickering open flame, gas lights, and brass spittoons reminds him of the architecture of the 1800s. He also finds that people are dressed in outmoded outfits. He notices that the date on the newspaper, The World, is printed June 11, 1894. As he tenders money to the clerk at the counter to buy 2 tickets, he realizes that he needs to have old currency bills to do so. Now, Charley's plan for a journey not realized. He had always wanted to travel to Galesburg with his wife Louisa. In his mind, it is a wonderful town still, with big old frame houses, huge lawns, and tremendous trees. It is a place with long and pleasant summer evenings and where people have ample of time. So the next day during lunch, he exchanges $300 for old style bills, amounting to some 200 only. The loss doesn't bother him much as he believes that in Galesburg everything will be cheaper and that he can manage even with a small amount. But he could never again find the corridor leading to the third level. Now Sam goes missing. His wife Louisa is worried about after knowing all this and asks him not to look for the third level any further. Suddenly, Charley realizes that his friend Sam Weiner is nowhere to be found, so he and his wife keep looking for him in the weekends. Sam was the one with whom Charley used to share his ideas about Galesburg. Now, Sam gets a letter. One day, while fidgeting with his stamp collection, Charley comes across a letter that was not there earlier. It bears the postmark on a faded 6-inch stamp with a picture of the President Garfield. The envelope was sent on July 18, 1894 to Charley's grandfather in Galesburg and is addressed to Charley. The letter reads that Sam has reached Galesburg and is having whale of a time there. He also invites Charley and Louisa to Galesburg. When Charley goes to the stamp and coin store, he's surprised of Sam's exchanging $800 for the old currency bills to establish his business of hay feed and grain in Galesburg. The letter was written by Sam Weiner, who was Charley's psychiatrist. Now, the summary of the lesson. Charley explains that one night, while hurrying home, he decided to take the subway from the Grand Central Station. He eventually found himself on a strange third level with spittoons on the floor, oddly dressed people, and locomotives from the 1890s. Understanding he had somehow gone back in time, Charley tries to buy tickets to Galesburg. During his lunch break the next afternoon, Charley withdraws all their savings and buys old-style currencies. But he can never find the entrance to the third level at the Grand Central. Charley finds evidence that the third level actually exists when he discovers a letter to him dated 18 July 1894 from Galesburg. It seemed that Charley's friend was not as incredulous of the third level as he appeared. So thus we have come to the end of the session. Thank you and have a nice day.